What is up, people of the DC Cinematic Universe, or should I say multiverse now, considering today I'm covering the brand new little teasers we've got for the Flashpoint movie. This includes our first look at Supergirl's suit, which is very, very interesting. I also want to go over the new actual look at the Flash suit. A lot of people were mistaking this for just the logo of the movie, but I'm telling you, this is the suit. But also, I want to get into what this could mean if Andy Muschietti drops something like this. I feel like I'm going to be speechless. But I also have some updated comments about the Keaton bat suit emblem that we got. Overall, this is going to be a little bonus video for you all, so I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you do, hit that like button and subscribe for more little DC movie updates like this, because if there's something of note, I'm going to cover it. Before we get onto the Flash suit and other little cool tidbit updates, I want to talk about the newest, and that is indeed Sasha's Supergirl suit. So, as you guys know, we're getting Supergirl played by Sasha Calle in the Flashpoint movie, and because of this image that was revealed of her Kryptonian suit, there's a lot of speculation unwinding, and naturally so, because there's a little bit of ambiguity here with some of the details. Now, clearly, right off the top of my head, we can make a face value assessment. This is very in line with the texture, the design, just everything that Snyder set forth with Henry Cavill's Superman. But as a result of this, people are now thinking, wait, does this mean that this is the missing Kryptonian out of the pod and things like that? And I'm going to address that in just a second. But first, let's talk about the actual changes. Here we can clearly see there's a really nice kind of red bleeding from the blue into the upper part of the symbol. And as you can probably tell, for all of the more, I guess, hardcore fans out there, you might be able to tell which inspirations these suits, but also just Sasha Calle's look in general right now with her haircut. As you're probably seeing on screen right now, you can see exactly what they're going for. Now, it could just bleed into the upper half. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be going into a cape, because there's some Supergirl and Superman suit designs where that red actually is a cape, but clearly you can tell that is actually just like a faded effect of a hue change rather than a cape being there, because you can still see the textures. So I'm guessing that the cape will still come out of here rather than it actually being like an overlapping kind of poncho vibe, if that makes sense. But still, I really love this Supergirl design, and I feel like it's really going to suit the design that a lot of fans fell in love with just the overall vibe that Snyder gave us with the Henry Cavill suits. I feel like Sasha's gonna look like a badass. As I already said, she's got the haircut already, so you can really tell what she's gonna look like in this suit, and you're probably seeing the image of the comic book counterpart that she's most likely going to look like. And another interesting tidbit, so as many of you super fans may know, in Henry's symbol here, and in Sasha Calle's that is present, there's Kryptonian language, like a little quote. People are already noticing that the inscription, the little Kryptonian inscription here, is different from Henry Cavill's, which does make sense, but I do appreciate the detail there. It wasn't just like a Flashpoint, oh, change, I'm now Supergirl kind of thing, and as I said, we're going to get into that with how this does pertain to the pod and things like that. But regarding the inscription, we even have Christine Schreier, I believe that's how you pronounce the second name, who created the Kryptonian language for Man of Steel, and she has come out and said, when a fan asked her here on Twitter saying, are they still using your version of the Kryptonian language here? If so, is it saying the same thing as the Superman suit? And she says, same Kryptonian, as in same Kryptonian language, but not the same as Superman's suit. So obviously the inscription there for Supergirl's suit, with considering what Clark says, hers will have some other kind of inscription or quote, if you will. It's just a nice little detail. I don't know what it exactly says. Maybe some people are already deciphering that. But yeah, it's nice with how similar it looks. To some of you, it probably looks identical to Henry Cavill's inscription and just overall symbol there. But it does have very subtle differences. And then just in the overall little peek that we've got at Sasha Calle's suit here, obviously you can tell the little hue change to the red. So overall, I'm a big fan of this. And lastly, with regards to the whole Henry Cavill, and this is Henry Cavill's Supergirl on the same Earth, I don't think so. So this doesn't mean that this is our Supergirl in the current continuity that we've had so far. So I think obviously because she's got the Snyder Superman theme and design going on here, her coming about is most likely, and maybe this is stating obvious for some, but a direct result of Flashpoint with what Barry does in this film. Because as I said, the reason why I felt like I had to mention that is a lot of people are thinking that this is the Supergirl that could have been out there all this time and stuff, but to me that doesn't make as much sense. I really feel like with what Barry's doing with this adaptation of Flashpoint, I don't know what that does to Henry Cavill's Superman. I'm not saying he's erased, or I'm not saying he's replaced, but he could be. Who knows? But regardless, Supergirl comes to fruition out of his changes to the timeline, and I think even when things get fixed, people and the Kryptonian or Sasha Calle's Supergirl will be one of the things or characters that remains, probably. Because, yeah, she's probably gonna have a future in the DCEU. But guys, let's actually finally talk about the Flash suit. So this was posted a little bit of time before, obviously, the Supergirl suit, because that's the most recent one that literally just came out. I have quite a bit to say about the new kind of close-up shot of... I love what Andy Muschietti is doing here with teasers of the suits being up close, because obviously it started with Keaton's, but now we're actually getting to see the new Flash suit. Now, say what you will about Ezra Miller, I haven't been massively on board with the quirky Alan take. That's my kind of way to just phrase it quickly. I'm not writing him off forever. I feel like Andy is going to capitalize upon what Ezra brings to Barry at best, but also bring about more of a toned down version as well. Tangent aside with that, I know some people want to get into, oh yeah, but that's the Justice League, but like even in the Snyder cut, I didn't vibe with it. But anyway, moving on, this suit is, I am loving this. Now, as we know from DC FanDome, the director literally teased the suit as being more organic and there is light embedded in it. Now, the concept art was shown at DC FanDome as well. It was obviously an early mock-up of what we're seeing here, albeit it is mostly 95% the same. I was worried, though, at DC FanDome that they had gotten rid of the white symbol and just made it red, but maybe that's just down to early concept designs, or maybe just the lighting and the concept art itself. You couldn't really make out the white symbol that he's got here. Regardless, most of it is the same, especially where you can tell where the light and the Speed Force being embedded throughout the suit is going to come in. I am such a huge fan of this, because I'm not saying all those little patterns that you're seeing are going to be like weaved with Speed Force light. I think it's going to be those main strips that are connecting to the bolt, like the almost Harry Potter Scar-esque lightning bolt connect. I feel like those are almost like the potential little LED strips that will be infused with Barry's glow up of lightning. And just like what you're seeing here on the DC FanDome concept art, that's the best way to put it. And now we see it here, and it's got like a little underweaving pattern. It's just great, and I'm just more of a fan of this like tenfold compared to that of Snyder's version. Now, I do appreciate it, don't get me wrong, if I see the Snyder suit, I think, look, that's a great design suit. I'm not gonna say, it's just not what I would sign off for if giving Barry Allen a suit, and I'm not saying it doesn't fit into the continuity of how Barry logically did have something that would, you know, put up with the speeds he was going at, but, you know, it had more of an injustice-y plated design. I'm more about the more kind of skin-tighty one with what the Flashpoint film is going for here. With this one, it's more low-key, low-profile, but yet it's also going to have light weaved throughout it through the Speed Force. You know, when I see this, I think, imagine the Reverse Flash version, and like, luckily, I've pulled one up. A friend started working on this, but then I just kind of saturated it a bit more, and you could see, like, I'm not saying the Reverse Flash is going to have an idea, like, and who knows, they might not even include him in this movie, because as the director even teased, it's not going to have some things in it that Flashpoint fans would expect, but it's still going to be, you know, at the end of the day, these are adaptations, right? It's not copy and paste. They're going to do a lot of Flashpointy things, I'm sure, but all without probably this massive Atlantean war with the Amazons, that kind of thing, right? So I really hope Reverse Flash, this is like I'm not saying he's going to have a heavy role, if at all, in this movie, but if he is used, it will probably be used as a teasing introductory role for our Barry. Like, I feel like that could be tasteful if done correctly. So let me just put it this way, Barry might see him or something like that. He might not have the full role he does in the Flashpoint actual storyline in the source material, but he's wondering who this evil speedster is. He's like, wait, who are you? Because obviously this Barry at this point in time will not know who that guy is at all, but obviously the Reverse Flash, from his perspective, knows everything about Barry. I think that would be a nice way to tee up a future Flash movie where Reverse Flash is obviously the main villain. And I would like to think that it would reflect something like the suit, but before I go too coup down that path. With Affleck being in this movie as well, and with what the director says as being quote unquote, it has been built by his friend Bruce Wayne this time. Now, you could say, some people are saying that's Keaton, and I guess you could say when he runs into Keaton, he becomes friends with him eventually, but that's not the way I take that. Like, who's Bruce Wayne, his friend, that we know? That's Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, the time he spent with him during Justice League. So, look, I hate to make this comparison, but it's the easiest way for me to articulate it. It wouldn't surprise me if it's the Wayne Tech kind of Iron Man version of Tom Holland's Spider-Man theme going on here. Kind of like, hey, Peter, here's your new suit. Kind of like, hey, Barry, you know, I'm Bruce Wayne, so like, here's this, I've looked into this for you, and here's something better. That would make sense. I know some people really don't like, for example, these heroes being handed their suits, but I feel like it's a bit different, even if they do parallel what the MCU Spider-Man had with Iron Man. Because the reason why I'm fine with it is because, hey, Ezra Miller's Barry Allen already built his own suit that was wired together with pieces. So I don't mind if he has a rich friend, he's already been through the events of Justice League and all of that stuff. Why wouldn't Bruce help him out there? As I said, it makes a massive difference compared to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, that the fact that Ezra Miller's Barry already put together a pretty cool suit. So I think it's Affleck who gave him his suit rather than Keaton. It just makes more sense. I feel like Keaton could become a friend, but, you know, not straight away. So that's my supporting circumstantial evidence there. And rewinding back the clocks just a second to the Reverse Flash comment reflecting his suit, some of you may get particular about that and say, but how would Reverse Flash have like a Wayne Tech, you know, suit that, let's just say, Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne gives to Barry? He probably wouldn't. That's why I was going to say it's not identical, but you can seriously imagine what the Reverse Flash would look like, with the Reverse Flash being obsessed with Barry, trying to recreate it, especially in the future, where you can tell where the light is weaving through on Barry's suit here, with what Andy Muschietti has even teased us with. Well, just imagine kind of red going through that on the yellow. God. And then lastly for this video, guys, I wanted to just go over the Keaton Batsuit symbol again, because I've already been over that when that first dropped, of which, since my last breakdown, I did actually get many people pointing out that it seems to be the 1992 Batman Returns suit. Now, I'm honestly still like here nor there with that. I mean, it is in terms of like the actual design and the way the shapes kind of go off like into the where the cloak would be or the cape. It is very, very similar. However, I still stand by that the color of this seems to be more mechy, if you know what I mean, because I was talking, what if there's like low-key Kingdom Come inspired reinforcement to, let's just say, you know, the Batman Returns suit, so it's slightly different, but yet still got the main kind of structural points there. It's not the same matty black look as the 1992 Batman Returns suit, albeit the shape, as I said, does seem to be the same in areas. And I don't think it's just the lighting of the close-up look here that gives it the more grey mech kind of vibe versus what actually the black 1992 Michael Keaton Batman suit has. But then again, it could be lighting, but I just don't think it is. And also, I do like to think that an older Michael Keaton Bruce would have kind of slightly upgraded that, you know, from the very rubbery kind of looking days. But it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of want to keep the kind of campy homage there and respect to the old kind of films, even on a present day Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne. But then again though, just to think, okay, what if it is lighting that makes it look like more gray here than the actual black? So for all we know, it could be the exact same suit if it is just the lighting of the camera zoomed in close on the symbol. The bat symbol within the actual yellow of the emblem isn't black. Like, that is definitely like a different color, because on the original return suit it's very, very black. The symbol is the exact same dimensions and everything like that, but it seems to be a different color. But just to support it even more being the exact same suit, well, if we go and take into account the concept art for the movie from DC FanDome, which obviously we've already shown in this video with how the Flash suit completely resembles obviously what we're looking at here, albeit we couldn't see the white of the logo, which, as I said, made me concerned last year, but obviously everything else follows suit with the light bleeding through. Well, if we take a look at Batman, as in Michael Keaton's Batman, and this is confirmed, you know, legit concept art for the Flashpoint movie, what suit is he sporting? His old Batman Returns suit. So that does stand to reason that he may actually really be wearing the exact same suit, and it might not be an upgrade. So I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know some people will have more conviction in their conclusion of this being a new version than others, and I did. But when you just take into account what if it is lighting, it just makes you think, oh damn. And then how the Flash suit is the same as the concept art last year, so if you apply that same principle to Keaton, then that would imply that he has, well, look at it. That's the old suit. So I don't know, guys. I will leave that one with you. I just wanted to mention it again, but that is the end of this video. I just wanted to do a bonus one because I don't usually upload on weekends unless there's something breaking, but I don't know, I'm so passionate about this that I wanted to talk about it. So I hope you guys appreciate the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like it as always. Subscribe here if you're brand new. If you want to follow me a little bit more, if you're interested in me, I do have a Twitter page. All of those links are in the top pinned comment, which is my comment that is pinned. You can also find my Discord server there, other places to support me like Patreon, like these channel members and patrons appearing on screen. Big thank you and shout out to you guys. But that is absolutely everything, so thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see people of the multiverse, I guess, in the next video. Goodbye.